Tough times may be ahead for Poland under Tusk's new government. Here's a report by Adrian Borecki. Well, who among us doesn't remember these legendary words? There just isn't any money, and there won't be. Those times, with the return of Prime Minister Tusk, are coming back. All right, well, one by one, let's explain what money isn't there and won't be there. Firstly, there's no money for laptops for students. There's no money. There have been serious reservations made by the European Commission regarding the preparation of this project and its feasibility. Also, regarding securing students from cyber threats. These laptops were also proposed without any ideas in terms of educational value. The Minister of Digitization commented in a very similar vein. There's no money from the EU, as 2023 expenditures have been questioned, or is there any in the budget, as it hasn't been secured yet? I understand that the budget money was not there, and in the new one, is it not there either? Nope, there's no money. We are in interministerial dialogue. On our side, the willingness is there, but there's no money, and there are problems on how to account for it. I can say that today there are more question marks than space to maneuver. The European Commission's reservations, however, were caused by omissions made by the ministry headed by Barbara Nowacka. No invoices have been submitted so far to the European Commission. No work has been undertaken in the Education Ministry that should have been done for this program to take effect this year. This basically means that Barbara Nowacka slept through those first few weeks and is now trying to put the blame on the previous government. And now, secondly, Tusk's government doesn't have the money to freeze electricity prices until the end of the year either. Why can't we keep freezing energy prices? What's wrong with doing that? Well, it's a growing budget burden. We no longer have the funds for it. And in that case, this will mean gigantic cost increases for Poles due to the government's decisions. Energy bills may increase by up to 64% as early as from July. And things were supposed to be so fresh and so beautiful. I believe that today, if I were a prime minister today, electricity and gas bills would be half. In these coming days, we're preparing for a disaster. For example, a family of 4 using a furnace. It'll have to pay over 3,000 złotych more for electricity next year if the electricity price freeze is not extended. A working group set up by Law and Justice has proposed a solution. Well, we've proposed solutions that will not burden the budget, or at least only to a very small extent. Here, we've proposed a tax on excess profits made by energy companies from all sectors and subsectors of energy companies in order to make the burden on the budget as small as possible. The Law and Justice team also proposed extending a zero VAT rate on food until the end of the year. If the government does nothing, Jarosław Kaczyński's team will prepare parliamentary projects. The government, however, is unlikely to be counted on, and this has been shown by Prime Minister Donald Tusk's behavior. A meeting of the Council of Ministers took place today without his participation. The head of government has apparently overexerted himself in his less than 2 months in power. He's now taking a rest in the Italian Dolomites, as we see here. They should really get down to work and not look for reasons to procrastinate. Anyone can find reasons to not do something. I suggest that they roll up their sleeves and get to work.
A ja proponuję, żeby oni zakasali rękawy i wzięli się do roboty.
Key positions in government administration or state-owned companies remain vacant. These are things for which we will continue to criticize the government. So, actions beneficial to Poles are scarce. Tusk is only passing on information about the lack of money for various programs, as was the case during his previous governments. And this through the mouths of his ministers, not his own. Well, he prefers that in addition to these decisions, let the ministers shoulder it. I think this is the main reason for his disappearance at this time. For me, it's a matter of avoiding responsibility for these decisions, which are precisely unfavorable to Poles. I will emphasize again, all this is against the interests of every citizen. We will soon see how the daily lives of Poles will change to their disadvantage. These facts have been recognized by the rating agencies as well. They warn. The escalation of political tensions in Poland has increased the risks to the government's effectiveness, which could complicate fiscal consolidation efforts and negatively affect market sentiment, especially if it undermines the stability and functioning of key institutions. From the moment the new government appeared, these problems began, announcing the withdrawal from the CPK and other large investments, question marks with the arms industry. We're watching all these things. Unfortunately, this is all very dangerous because we'll be going backwards economically. And finally, pensioners, whom Minister Nowacka apparently despises, should also start to worry. What's most important is to talk to young people because they're the ones who will change Poland, because it'll be their Poland, not the Poland of pensioners who are all flustered due to their loss in the elections. The truth comes out. Superficial smiles, hearts on lapels, but what they're really doing is insulting people. And this is what the Tusk coalition seems to be really strong at, or rather, rich with.